Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay. Welcome to the Inspirational Anna Show, the show that aims to inspire and encourage each and every one of you, including myself. We're a little bit behind, so we're going to go straight into our conversation with blogger Kobby Kyei, one of Ghana's top bloggers, a generational thinker, a very positive young man whose journey I admire very much. So let's bring him in, Miss Sophie. Hello, Kobby. How are you? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I'm doing good. God bless you. Thanks so much for having me.
Amen. Amen. So, as I said, you're one young man that I truly admire.
Your voice is very down.
You're very serious about what you do. You're encouraging young people and yourself. So please tell us a bit about yourself, Kobby.
Thank you. My name is Kobby Kyei, born Tuesday, but my full name is Augustus Quantin Kyei. Was born in the central part of Ghana, Guna Diakwa. I had my basic school at Guna Swedro Greenfield Preparatory School, and also moved on to for my high school education at Yankoma Hinklo Senior High School. And then from high school, I moved to Winneba University of Education, Winneba, where I had my first degree in music education. So, from a family of siblings, we are four, two boys, three girls. My mom, parents are alive. I am married with two beautiful girls, and I'm a blogger, social media influencer. Um, my focus in blogging is making sure that I focus on the positive aspects of life and content, and also making sure that I also address social issues so far as Ghana is concerned. So basically, this is me. I was born on 27th of March. Yes, that's it.
That's it. I heard you say you have two beautiful daughters. You know how I do. I'm crazy about women and girls. So what are the names of your girls? And how old
So
are
the
they?
first one is Kendra Krantinche, and the second one. So the first one is 4 years, and the second one is 2 years. She is Kayla Krantinche. So Kendra Krantinche and Kayla Krantinche.
Oh, you're a young daddy. Nice, nice,
That's
nice. So let me read a bit about you so that people, besides what you said, I wanted you to give me some pointers that people could relate to with you. So I'm going to read what you sent me. It says here, Augustus Cranton Che, professionally known as Kobby Kyei, is a Ghanaian blogger, freelance journalist, publicist, philanthropist, and digital marketer. He is also the founder of news blog KobbyKyeiNews.com. Kobby Kyei is among the award-winning bloggers in Ghana and has won many awards in Ghana, including National Communications Award, Youth of Excellence Award, Ghana Tertiary Awards, and Ghana Web Excellence Awards. Kobby Kyei is currently the ambassador for Caveman Watches. These are very notable and respectful awards that you've received. Tell me the path to which that led to you being recognized this way, because we all go around in life and we do what we do our best, but not everybody gets awarded. Not everybody gets recognized for what they do. I consider as awards as a scheme for the cream of the crop, people who are making society better. So tell me, what led you, what path led you to being selected among the cream of the crop of the young people in Ghana?
Thank you, Anna. So basically, I think that what led to me winning all these titles, or these awards, or all these plaques is the fact that um, when you were reading the bio, you notice that one of the award scheme was Youth Excellence Awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing an integral role when it comes to excellency in my profession, and also one of the award was online personality of the year. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel that what actually led me winning some of these plaques or these awards is the fact that I was able to stay true to myself when it comes to the blogging space. Anytime you mention the name Kobby Kyei, I stand for excellency.
Mm-hmm.
My personality is unique, and I have identified myself to be a blogger who is consistently pushing positivity and also using my platform to amplify issues that needs critical attentions and that needs solutions to it. So basically, um, I stand to be unique in my own way because when I started blogging, I noticed that quite a number of the blogs were so much focused on sensationalism.
Mm-hmm.
They were focused on sensationalism. They were focused on the gossip. Few on, I mean, hardly will you hear a blogger going for content and also trying to tell the story of what is going on in society and also pushing the positive side. So I took that upon myself and I was able to change the narrative. So I'm sure it is the result of my work and my me standing out among my peers that led to all these awards.
All right. So, you grew up in Ghana, you haven't gone to live elsewhere or anything like that. Your schooling is in Ghana, your work is in Ghana, you're a teacher by profession, right? So, when you looked at the situations of youth, what made you think you could be part of the solution instead of the problem? Because it's easy to get on the bandwagon of complaining and blaming others and all that, right? What made you think you have the capability? What made you believe that you can be a source of positivity, a source of inspiration, a source of pride? And not only that, you actually also give to those in need. What made you think you could do all that?
Thank you, Anne. I feel that what propelled this ideology or this result of my blogging career is my environment. And I always give credit to my environment because you notice that sometimes I used to blame myself when I was growing up from a very poor background, a poor environment. I was sad to know that quite a number of my peers are coming from rich families and they're having all the quality resources and environments that can propel them or that can shoot them to the next level. But I
Right.
had no environments of such nature. And so I think that growing up, I went through a lot and I was exposed to the
Mm-hmm.
fact that when God is able to bless me or when God is able to give me that platform, my environment will help me shape my thinking and also see life from a different perspective. So
Okay.
growing up as a boy in Aguna Diakwa in the central region, I went through a lot as a person. I saw the life from a different point of view. I told myself that God, I want to be in the media space. If you help me, and I still remember some of the promises that I made to God when I was young. I told myself that God, when you make me a public figure, which I want to be, I'll be able to use tool, whichever power that I have to change my environment. So finally, when I started blogging and I started getting the attention, people following me, and I noticed that I was able to organize a crop of individuals who are always on my page to listen to me. I said I wouldn't entertain, sorry to say, stupidity because of
Mhm.
where I'm coming from.
Right. You've
When
seen,
I
you've
was young,
already
if I
seen,
had the
you've already
opportunity of
seen
people
pain.
people coming to me to tell me about how to stay focused, how to manage my things, I'm sure I'll be far gone
Hmm.
than where I am today.
Hmm.
So what actually led to my path is my environment and also my parents who were able to shape my thinking, not to disrespect people, to
Hmm.
always to be humble, to be a go-getter, and also use my influence to change society. So in a nutshell, I believe that my environment and my parents helped me take this particular path that I am in my blogging career.
Okay. So why blogging, right? Why
Mm.
blogging? You could have been a rap artist. You could have been like the professional teacher that you are, because you're in touch with young people all the time. You're in the school system where positivity is needed, because so many young people, especially there in Africa.
And please hold on for me. Okay. This is why. Okay. All right. Please continue. Sorry.
So why blogging? As I was saying, you could have been any other thing. You could have been a preacher. You could have been a rap artist and all that. But what made you choose blogging? What made you choose journaling?
So what actually made me choose blogging? Like I mentioned, when I was growing up, I had two things that I wanted to do. I went to the university to read music. I played trumpet when I was in junior high school, right to the university level. So I had that passion for music and media as well. So when when I was in junior high school, I remember buying junior graphic.
Okay,
I
okay,
remember buying junior graphic, reading all the time. I wanted to be in the media space. I remember I bought forms at GIJ, but I never had the opportunity to go. So I believe that I was born to really enter into this media thing. So after university, after national service, I had so much followership on social media because I was a Sarkodie fan and I was putting content out there about SAC. So literally, I was able to um, gather a lot of followership. So my friends were like, "Kobby, you are you are someone who writes war. You are
mm-hmm,
someone who speaks war. Why don't
mm-hmm.
you go into blogging?"
Okay,
So I told myself that. So I remember I called Amir Adabra because he is more like the godfather or the pioneer of blogging in Ghana. So I
right.
called him and I said, Amir, I want to come and see you because I want to be a blogger. So he invited me over and he actually thought that I'm blogging already because I was talking about SAC on social media. So he said,
Oh,
"Oh, I'm doing the writing." And I said, "Okay." I came back home. I did a couple of research on social media. I read thoroughly on social on Google. I was learning a lot about how I can even apply the ethics of journalism in my blogging. So
okay,
basically, that's how come I was able to now identify myself to be a blogger because already I wanted to be in the media space. So when
mm-hmm,
you look at my blogging style, one of the things that makes my blogging style unique is the fact that I'm always trying to inculcate or employ the ethics of journalism.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When you talk about the ethics of journalism, when you talk about the ethics of journalism, what does that mean, right?
So when
Because
I say the ethics of journalism, one of the
Mhm.
key things that you have to know is that you have to make sure you check your facts. You don't put out fake news.
Okay,
You avoid sensationalism. You
mm-hmm,
make sure that you go for the story. You don't wait for the story. Wherever the story is happening, you go and investigate and find solutions to it. You tell the
okay,
story as it is.
okay,
So my blogging is not just about hearing someone talking somewhere and I just pick up my phone and blog. No, I don't do that. You remember recently, I think last week, my story was trending all over Ghana. And as it stands now, that is my biggest story so far. When I
what was
traveled
this?
all the way from Accra to the Volta region to investigate a senior high school and the food they were being treated with or the food they were being served with. And you saw the videos where 10 students to a table were sharing just one fish. And
Wow.
the story was all over Ghana from all the traditional media picked the story. And I mean, so that should be. I was thinking that it was the traditional media, the TV station, who are supposed to pick story, and for we bloggers to feed on. But now the narrative is that as a blogger, I am rather going in for the story from the Volta region, and then
Mhm.
the traditional media is picking it. So that should tell you how powerful I've become and how
Right,
essential I want to take my blogging to, basically.
right, right. So basically, what you're doing is going for facts, not
Exactly.
fiction. You're going
Mm.
for facts. You're going to the, as they say, you're going to the ground and doing the work. How difficult has it been?
Obviously, it has been difficult because one of the challenges is if I'm going to drive all the way from Accra to Volta region, I'm looking at resources, number one.
Right.
I'm looking at fuel. And even when I say resources, I'm a resource person myself. So I'm even also putting my life in risk, driving all the way from here to Water region. That's quite a number of things that I'll mention. Also, um, the challenges is people not trying to see the bigger picture of the story you're telling. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I was able to put the story out there, some myopic people were trying to say that we enjoy this food when we, in our 90s, in our 2000s. So it is normal in the boarding school. And I asked myself, you enjoy this food in the 90s and you expect in 2022, you expect your child to eat the same food. It means that we don't have a progressive mindset.
Right.
It
Right.
means that we are in a country where we normalize everything. We normalize poverty. We normalize the fact that I have been through it. So let me allow my child or let me allow my subordinates to go through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that is how come Africa is not building up. Because you know why? We are building people who went through sort of suffering. And so we normalize that system. So when, for instance, when I pass through the same suffering system and I become Kobby Kyei, I become a boss, I enjoy seeing my employees go through the same system because I feel that, oh, it is normal. I went through the same thing. But
Right.
the narrative should change. So I
It
believe
has
that
to.
those are some of the challenges when you put out content. And again, one of the things is that you put out content and people refuse to give you credit. Because I traveled to the Volta region and I saw people picking the story and they refused to give me credit.
Oh, they
So
just took the story and
yes, so if
published
it's
it.
not because I was smart enough to fix my logo on it, the story will go viral, but I wouldn't be recognized.
You wouldn't be recognized. So that must be a difficult situation to be in as a freelance um, journalist, because there's the traveling, there's the lodging, there's food and all that. Are you getting any support?
As it stands now, I am not getting any support. I am always looking at the bigger picture. I believe that if you don't start planting the seed, no support will come. And we are. I think it's a system worldwide. People want to come on board to support you when they see you doing meaningful things.
Right.
So I've programmed my mind not to determine or not to depend on anybody, but I am doing this and hoping and believing that one day a bigger platform will appreciate what I'm doing. Because, for instance, if BBC is coming to pick my content, you have no idea the amount of money BBC will pay because
That's right.
they value content.
Right. Right.
So I am going to sacrifice and do some of these stories, and I believe that, I mean, I mean, people will come on board one day support. And I mean, however, or having said that, I believe that people are also supporting me already. And for instance, I'm not saying this because you're interviewing me. I met
Mm-hmm.
you on flights back to Ghana, and you've been so supportive of my brand. You call me to encourage me. And
Mm-hmm.
supporting does not always have to go with finances. Sometimes motivation.
Right.
You
Right.
call me morning, evening, afternoon. Kobby, is there anything you want us to talk about? Is there anything bothering you? So those are sometimes priceless
Mm-hmm.
motivation that you don't even need. You can't use money to buy. So
So
aside you, I have some people who have become sort of pillars to me, who always encourage me to look at a bigger picture of what I'm doing.
right. So you're on this positive path. So why didn't you stay in your profession as a teacher, which would have given you consistent income, right? Why didn't you stay there? Because now we're talking about resources, right?
Mm.
It takes a lot of courage, and you know me and the word courage. When it comes to the word courage, oh, my dog is about to wake up. So when it comes to that, it takes a lot to walk away from a steady income to an unknown income. Where did you get that strength from?
Um, I again believe that the fact that I went into the teaching field or I'm supposed to be a teacher doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be in a classroom. Literally, I can boldly say that if our system was programmed well, I'm sure I'll be in teaching because I don't know that apart from the impacts, we're also looking at monetary wise.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of people who are in the teaching field that even though they are getting frequent flow of income, I am sort of doing better than them.
Right.
Because by God's grace, I have started a project. By God's grace, I'm doing something that if I was into teaching, trust me, I'm being honest with this. It will be difficult for me
To
to
even
get
do
a
it.
land and to start a project. It will be difficult.
Right.
And these are past experiences of my uncles, my friends, their parents, and how the system was able to cripple them. One of the advantage of my part is that I'm not a spender. I don't go to club. I don't chill. I don't do sort of necessary stuff. So
Right.
the little money I get, I'm able to think twice and save and make sure that I use it for the right thing.
Invest it properly.
Investing. So even though I couldn't enter into the classroom, literally I am teaching on my blog. I am teaching
Yes.
every day, which you know.
Right.
But in finance wise, I believe that with the little money I'm getting, I'll be able, if I'm going to keep my head straight, keep the focus, keep my finances balanced, I'm going to do well.
Okay. So I see that you're doing mighty things. You know me. I go to your page morning, noon, and night. You know that.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, and I smile and all that, right? So you seem to be a very conscientious person. You know what I mean? And you seem to pick up projects that matter, not only in the physical realm, but when I look at some of the work you do, it's almost as if, and like myself, it's almost as if you think beyond what is in front of us, right? Same with me. For example, I saw you chatting with this young guy who I think he makes shoes or something
Yeah, on the Osu Oxford Street.
on Osu Oxford Street, right? And what I saw was a young man who has gone past the physical of this young man and is seeing the soul and what the young man is capable of. What brings you to these places? What brings you to the Volta region? What brings you to go and visit crippled people? What brings you to see issues that matter and you tackle it? What bring and bear in mind, anybody that is listening, when he's tackling it, like he said, nobody's paying him, right? Under normal circumstances, when big media houses send somebody, that person is paid. So what I'm asking you is, and that's one of the things I admire about you, what makes you keep pushing?
I think I mentioned earlier, it's my environment.
Your parents?
My environment. Because of where I'm coming from.
Right.
Because like a typical example is the guy that I visited on the Osu Oxford Street. I could relate with him.
Right. Okay.
Not
Yeah.
just physically, but like you mentioned, spiritually, I could relate because I've been there before. Not
You were
necessarily me selling on the streets, but
right.
I could feel the pain that he is going through as a youth. That is why when you monitor my blogs and all my blogging career over the period, I am so concerned about the youths because I feel that we were not brought up in an environment where we were trained mentally to hold on to bad moments to good moments. So if you don't take time, you'll be able to crash. And a lot of youth are losing focus and crashing because growing up, they were not built mentally. So I try to kind of use my influence, to use my popularity, to use my platform to encourage. Like you mentioned, if a traditional media personnel is going to report a story in the Volta region, they are going with a media house car, they are going with, they give them food and all that. But I pay my own fuel with my team, we go and do that. And these are investments that I'm doing.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
just for me, but I am looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at how I can also use my platform to put the limelight on people. Some of these things, if you don't have a third eye, you won't see the essence of doing it.
You won't even do it, period.
Yes.
It's not a matter of you won't even do it because a bread.
Yes. Because even with the traditional media that they have the resources, how many of them even do such stories?
Exactly. Yes.
So
yeah.
Sometimes I get questions like, hey, now we a media house and now just one individual, look at the things you are doing. So I even do things that the traditional media that they have resources, they have vehicles, they have account department. They have one department they can't even do.
Is it that they can't do or they don't want to do? You know, there's something I've come, you know how I'm all over the place. One of the lessons I think I've learned is that people simply don't want to do, honestly. Because how can you feed 10 kids with one fish? Tell me about it. How can a whole country and then adults make dumb statements like, we did that way back then? If we did that way back then, shouldn't we learn from it? Shouldn't
Exactly.
we put systems in place so that the next generation is not crippled? A hungry child cannot hear what is being taught in the classroom. But anyway, I don't want to cut you off. Keep going.
Yeah, so I think basically it's my environment. I mean, my environment always propels me to go and do the right thing, and also making sure that what I went through, I'll be able to change the mindset. This young man that was on also Street that I amplified, he called me this morning, and he's gotten a lot of people calling him all over the world that when they come for Christmas in December, they are going to buy stuff from him. And that is a joy. That is a result I'm talking about. That is the solution.
Right.
And I also noticed that we are talking about the government doing this, do this. So I told my team that, look, for some time now, I think I have to just keep mute on the government has done that. The government, what they have to do is that let me move onto the streets and interview and put a spotlight on people who are doing this petty trading and entrepreneurship. That's what I can do. Enough of the talking.
Right. And you know, I always say that when you look at a young, you mentioned how we met on the plane, right? And of course, I kept staring at you, but you know what you were doing, right? So we began almost at the end of the flight, we began to chat, right? And within a short period of time, we've said many things, we've put many plans in place, we keep going, right? And I always tell you, you inspire me, and I hope I inspire you. Why do I say that? You see, a lot of times we think it's adults that are supposed to mentor young people. But sometimes young people bring their energy into the adult's life, right? So I like how you said you decided to move onto the street, right? Because these young people have ideas. Just like you, they have ideas, but who to support them and how they're going to go forward. So as you are going out there and you're talking to these young people and all that, I'm thinking about you, right? And your well-being. Because when you're not doing well, there'll come a time when you're going to crash. So what are you doing to make sure? Because I think you're stepping into a very productive area, right? Who can you bring along that can support these young people, that can hear these young people? Because I see a movement right there. Have you thought about that?
Yes. I mean, thank you so much. So I had a conversation with quite a number of diplomats in Ghana and some politicians, and I noticed that there are annually funding that is being dedicated or allocated to some of these people who are doing petty traders. But because nobody is coming out and some of these youths don't know the whereabouts of these funds, the year ends with the money, should I say going waste, or not being productive or put it into productive use.
The money is not
So
claimed.
I told myself that once I start some of these things, I know a lot of diplomats, I'll be able to propose to them that, look, this is evidential. I am on the street interviewing street hawkers, people who have started their own thing. They just need little funding. What can we do collectively to help these people? So I am just trying to build a portfolio and organize some of these people. Then I can approach some embassies, some government officials to know that this is the database, this is the numbers. What can we do to help them?
Exactly. Because
so that is basically my focus.
Beautiful. Because for each person that is driven, the way we're driven. You need resources, right? You need resources because you have a team. You have a team that does the work. You can't keep going on like that. Do you find that when you approach leaders in Ghana, when you approach business people, are they receptive of your thoughts and your ideas? Do you find that?
I believe that some are open, some are ready to collaborate with you. Some are also always having the mindset of working for their political party and not just the ordinary Ghanaian. And I think that some politicians or some leaders must move away that thinking. That when you become an MP, when you become a minister, when you become a president, you are serving Ghanaians, not just your political party. So that if I come to you and I belong to party A or B, you should be able to help me because I'm a Ghanaian. At the end of the day, it is an ecosystem. I'm going to help a lot of people under what I'm doing. So Ghanaian leaders or Ghanaian stakeholders should be able to move from that mindset of, if you are not associated with me, I won't help you. You have to be in my circle before I help you. We should be able to see somebody who is doing amazing stuff out there and invite the person to invest in him or her. Imagine what I'm doing. Somebody, a rich man somewhere, should just call me and say, Kobby, I admire what you are doing. Take this money. I support you with this money, with your team, with your car, full, do this. They are all watching. They know what I'm doing. And let me say, God bless you so much. You were able to collaborate with me at a period of time to push your materials, and you were sending me money every month. So imagine individuals who were coming to me to have sort of collaboration with me to push me. You have no idea what that money was doing for me. At least it was helping me to buy fuel here and there to push me forward.
Yes.
So we always need that engine. We always need that fuel from people, from individuals. So I believe that some are doing their part, but we need the larger market. We need the larger people to go like, we have to support this. We support people who are doing stupid things. Example, people who are doing productive stuff will not be invited on national television. Only few stations will do that.
Yes.
How can you invite someone who has bigger boobs to come on your platform because you want traffic? No, it doesn't make sense.
Well, let me not say what I was going to say.
Let's try and be disciplined.
Let's leave it at that. But you've only been out, like you've only come to this level within how many years? 5 years?
So next month will be exactly 5 years I started blogging. Just next month, November.
Just you started blogging, and you started blogging, but within the blogging is intensity, like you know, when we say it's density.
Yeah. People actually get surprised when I tell them that I've been blogging for 5 years because they feel that I've worked too much.
Relentlessly.
Yes.
But you see,
within 5 years.
But let me tell you something, Kobby. This is when you have the energy to do it, right? This is when you have the energy. This is when your brain doesn't sleep, as I keep telling you, and the ideas keep coming. You can't stop now. I know it's difficult. Psalm 23 says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, what? I will fear no evil. And then at the end, it says, you prepare a table before me.
The presence of my enemies.
The presence of my enemies. And then what does it say? My cup, it runs over, right? So know that what role does God play in your drive? I know that every day I wake up. The other day, I just finished a program, right? And I was looking at the pictures and I was seeing people smile. And that evening we danced and danced and danced. And I looked at the year, because my charity, the year ends in October, right? So I was looking at the pictures and I was saying to God, thank you for using me. I wasn't thinking about money. I was thinking about the hope that I bring to people. What role has God played on your journey and in your journey? Because I know it hasn't been easy. The sacrifices, the disappointments. What role has God played in it?
And what I'll say is that God over everything. God over everything, because I don't know what I told you. I told you this before. I remember way back in Aguna Diakwa, my village. when I close from school, I'll move to one of the public schools, one of the classrooms, and I'll be praying. I don't know the reason why I was doing that, but I was just praying to God. God, I want to do this. God, I want to create an impact. God, I want to be big. God, I want to be this. God, I want to be that. And one of the things that God is doing for me, which amazes me, is that He connects me to the right people because of my path. Because my way of blogging, if God don't direct me, human being physically is capable of destroying me or distracting me.
Yes.
So sometimes there are some programs that God in His own wisdom saves me from not going. There are some people that I don't even force to get closer to them. God in His own wisdom connects me to them. And it shocks people. How was this guy able to connect with this person? Charlie Kobby, please help me connect. Please help me get closer to this person. And
you're
I
saying to
literally
yourself,
have no idea how I was even able to connect to such people.
a person.
Example is even you. Let me not even go for you. I met you on a flight. It was a long flight, and when the pilot announced that let's prepare to land, you just shook my shoulder and were like, "Hey, gentlemen, you will land you."
I was like, why is this boy sleeping so much? What is wrong with him?
Charlie,
I kept
oh,
looking
yeah,
at
this
you,
I'm proud. Me to play with my dad.
and as soon as the food comes, you eat it and you're back to sleep.
And from that moment of coming to land, that was when we had an encounter.
Oh my goodness.
And the rest has been history.
The rest has been history. The rest has
So
been history.
God over everything.
God over everything.
I was secret with me. God over everything.
Everything.
Because I was somebody from a village where Charlie, I told me every Saturday we go home.
Look at the way you.
Yeah, like hey,
It's called the hustle was real. The hustle
like, was actually
too far.
Hey,
the hustle was real. So say,
you are getting emotional.
You know,
no, but it was crazy.
Yeah. No,
we were the boys that.
Listen,
I don't know when I told you. I told you this before. When I was going to write my BECE, the whole of Form 3, now my school so I was wearing cardigan throughout. There was no money to buy me school uniform. You
know what? Say that in English. The reason I want you to say that in English. No, the reason I want you to say that in English is because you never know who is out there somewhere that doesn't understand our dialect.
Okay. So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that I am a boy from that village where nobody took us serious. I was literally going to farm every Saturday. In my junior high school education, from Form 3, that whole Form 3 system, where even before I write my BEC, my final exams to senior high school, my school uniform was torn, like my knicker was torn,
ripped up,
and it was like people were making fun of me. The ladies didn't want to get closer to me. I was the boy that they were always names of talkative. My name was always inside. Frustrated boy. But now, because of the grace of God, let me repeat that again. Let me repeat it. Because of the grace of God, people look up to me now and go like, "We want to be like you." I met a lady just last week at a program, and the lady was crying. And I was like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" He said, "You inspire me, I follow you." Someone is watching me and she met me, she's crying. I'm not a musician. I'm a blogger. But people see me and they adore me as if I just don't know.
Well, the Bible
so this is a testimony of God.
In His time, what does He do? He makes all things.
He makes this year alone, I've traveled I've been to Liberia, I've been to South Africa, I've been to France 4 times. I've met people. So God, I keep saying that if you follow God, the blessing is everlasting.
It's endless.
Endless.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities.
You see? So you know what? My vision, as I keep telling you, is to one day be walking and to have a huge building with the name Endless Possibilities on it. And what's going on inside? We're picking those that are suffering, those that are hurting, those that can see their way forward, and just blessing them.
We will do that. We will do that.
Right?
I believe.
What is your vision?
My vision.
You know what? You know what? The beauty of this journey that we're on, where sometimes we don't know what is coming tomorrow, is the sweetness of the vision of God. So
My
what?
vision. So,
Yeah.
my vision is to wake up one day, which I'm still working towards that, to also have a huge building with the name Blogging Institute of Ghana.
Awesome.
Which I'm going to
excuse me.
enroll a lot of young guys into my
Excuse
school
me.
to
Wait.
change the status quo
Wait.
when it comes to blogging and social media.
Wait. Now that you've said that here, you need to go register right now. Blogging Institute of Ghana.
That's why I didn't want to share my vision. So please, if this interview is not live, cut that part away.
It's live. So you better leave that wedding and the food and go and register it.
Because my vision can be stolen.
It can be stolen. Sure, people are wild. Let me tell you. But let me.
Yeah, so please cut. If this is not live, I know you save it later, but please find a way to cut it.
Listen, Kobby, you know what they say? Whom God has blessed, no
one can guess.
No one can guess.
Yeah, so that's actually my vision. Like I really want to do that. That's actually my vision.
You should do that, and you should do that as soon as possible. Please don't waste time. You know, because one thing I've learned is that I just booked a theater to do a show. The theater holds about 500 people. I've booked it now for 2023 August. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I walked by the theater. I went inside. I thought it was beautiful. I just went and registered it. Right?
Nice.
The reason I did that is because I've always told you Women's Courage Festival, right? When you have a thought, don't wait till you see the big picture, till you see the bigness. Write it down. They say the vision is for an appointed time, right? Though it tarries, it shall surely come to pass. Habakkuk somewhere. So, Kobby, I know your heart. I know how far you've come. I know how distressed sometimes you can get, but let me tell you, God is taking you somewhere.
Amen.
God is taking you somewhere. He has brought you this far. He's taking you even further. So when you look, as you're speaking, and there are young people out there, both boys and girls, who I know are suffering. Sometimes even what to eat is a problem. What would you tell them? What would you tell them?
So if there's any young guy, young person, young woman, the youth especially, watching me, what I'll tell them is that they have to fine-tune their mindset, because the mind is one of your biggest assets. Apart from the heart, one of the biggest assets is your mindset. So you have to protect your mindset, what you consume, be optimistic, and make sure that you are able to build a circle of people who believe in whatever thing that you're doing. I mean, take God serious, and also believe in your purpose. The fact that you are from a poor background doesn't mean that your back is on the ground. So you might be thinking that I'm from a poor background, I'm from a poor family. Your sometimes you seem to even question God, why He gave you your parents, because sometimes you feel that why are you not associated with this family? But I've grown up to appreciate my parents, because when I was growing up, I felt that, oh God, why didn't you make me come out from this family? But now, of where I am today, I appreciate my parents more, because they were able to sacrifice for me regardless of the situation. So let's appreciate our parents. Make sure that you stand for something. Find your niche.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a room where everybody's doing the same thing, you can never be recognized.
Never.
So make sure that if you're youth, one of the difficult things in life as a youth or African youth is we finding our purpose. Finding our purpose is very difficult. Sometimes even after discovering your purpose, the system and how you go about it becomes very difficult. But trust
Yes.
me, make sure that you stay positive and you move along or tag yourself along people who share the same vision or who believe can help you move on to the next level of your life.
All right.
Take every opportunity when you meet people. If you know that this person is good and it can help you shape your mind, get closer to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because of our hardship in Ghana, when people meet friends for the first time, all what they think about is money. How can this person help me financially? How can
Mm-hmm.
this person help me financially? We should, the youth, if you are listening to me, move beyond just meeting somebody who can help you financially, but some people or persons who can help you create ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually the ideas will bring you the money. But
Yes.
if you meet people and you feel like, oh, they should send you money, give me money, they can give you the money, but the wisdom and the knowledge that they
Will
use in
not be there.
acquiring or getting to wherever they are, they won't be able to share with you because
Also.
you're not ready to listen to the ideology.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Mm-hmm.
ready for the money. The
Right.
money will finish, but the ideas will be there forever and ever.
Good. So that's for the young people.
Mm.
And young people, I mean, I just want to follow up with what Kobby said. That you can never put a dollar amount on ideas. You can never put a dollar amount because one idea could propel into so many ideas as you go along. I'm an example of that. I have seen Kobby in action. I'm like, keep pushing, polish till you shine, right?
Thank
You
you.
know, so keep following. And then you gave a message to the young people. It takes everything as a circle of life. Now about adults who have resources, who have experience, who have technical know-how. How can they support young people?
I think that to the adults, people who God has blessed them with resources, they must think about building a legacy, number one.
When you talk
Because
about building a legacy, what are you saying?
when I say building a legacy, use what God has blessed you with to also impact one another.
Mhm, mhm,
I mean, I don't know whether in some parts of the world they have this saying, but when it comes to in Ghana, we have this proverb that we say that good name is better than riches.
mhm,
So sometimes when God blesses you with resources, make sure that you extend your hand in impacting your next door neighbor or the people close to you, so
mhm,
that you also be known and be recognized that, oh, I was able to get to this level because of this person.
mhm,
In
mhm,
future, when you are no more, because of the legacy that you built in helping people, your children, your grandchildren, and the people in succession in your family line will be able to benefit from everything that you're doing.
mhm,
The next one, which will probably be my last thing, is collaborations. When we
mhm,
have the resources and we meet people who also are not resourceful but they are ready to work, let's try and partner with them.
mhm,
In our part of the world, we lack partnership. People are
mhm.
not ready to partner with people. They want to do things solely. Oh, man, I want to do it and take credit for themselves. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, but today Facebook is everywhere. He partnered with a lot of people.
Yes, and continues to.
Exactly. So let's learn. Africans and Ghanaian communities, people who are blessed and have the resources, the rich people, they should learn to collaborate among themselves and also collaborate with the young youth so that they can also take in place where they were able to live. Their legacy and everything that they are doing.
All right. So when we look at you, after we've spoken with the youth and we've spoken with the adults, when you look at yourself, I want you to look straight in the camera and to ask for what you need. You know what I mean? So that wherever the video lands, The end of it, you will be asking for the support that you need, because I find that sometimes we don't ask for the support, or we don't ask for the help that we need. When you ask, not and growing up in Ghana, you're told you have to do things yourself. You're disgracing yourself when you ask for help. But experience has taught me that a big dreamer cannot do anything alone. A big dreamer needs people. A leader needs followers. A leader needs people to hold hands with. So please think about yourself and let us know. Speak to us about what you need, because you're going somewhere. And whoever plants a seed in you today will not regret it. But I don't want to be the one that's saying it. I want you to tell us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kobby Kyei. I'm a blogger, and my work, when it comes to my blogging line, is quite different because I look at impacting society, impacting humanity, and also finding solutions to it and pushing Ghanaian youth. Now, what I want, if you're watching me wherever around the world and you're watching me, one of the things I'll ask you to do to support me is to, number one, your encouragement. My page, my Instagram page is Kobby Kyei. Find me everywhere. Send your encouragement. That is number one. Again, I want to build an empire. I want to build a, a structure where I can educate young ones in blogging. I want to get facilities. If you're watching me and you have an apartment in Ghana, office space in Ghana, and you are not using it for a project currently, or you can even collaborate with me, let's make this happen. Let's have a facility where, because social media, we're in a global village, we are in the social media era. I'm ready to collaborate with you. You can give me your facility. Let's build the mindset of the people. I want social media. I want to have a facility where we can start to teach social media.
Okay. Okay.
So if you are watching me and you want to collaborate with me, you want us to put out an edifit or a facility that you want to just give it to me to start this courses or this program with regards to blogging and social media, I'm ever ready. If you are also watching me and you want me to be part of everything that you are doing in terms of educating your youth, educating your children about social media, I'm also open for collaborations. And so I believe that that is all what I want people to do for me. I'm also open for ideas as well.
And to everybody that is listening, besides blogging, Kobby is a speaker, and he speaks on issues that matter to youth. Our youth need encouragement. Our youth need encouragement. Adults, those of us who are mature, know that talking negative about young people is not going to take them anywhere. Even the young person that you call the worst person needs encouragement so that they can come back and focus on where they're going and their journey. So, Sir Kobby, what are your final words that you have, so that when somebody finishes watching this, we've talked about your journey, we've talked about the work that you've done, even though we couldn't go into detail. We should do this again, even though we couldn't go into detail. What are your final words to a young person that is watching, even to a mature person such as myself? Because, like I said, it's not only older people who encourage young people also encourage older people. So, what are some inspiring words that you can tell us so that when we sleep, we can sleep well and say, Kobby Kyei said that?
So, like my mantra always says, polish till you shine. Wherever you find yourself, in every situation, make sure that you polish until you start shining, don't stop polishing. And also, I mean, the mind is very powerful. For me as an individual, I don't joke with my mindset
Mm-hmm.
because that is what is holding me.
Right.
So my mind is very powerful. Protect your mind, and also if you are a youth out there or you're a parent and watching me, you are watching me, social media has taken all over the world. What impact are we making on social media?
Mhm.
Anything you post on social media will one day reflect whether you are selling yourself negatively or you are selling yourself positively. So let's all tread cautiously on social media and the things that we do. It can come back to bite us if it is bad. If
All
it
right.
is also good, it can also come back to also pay us in a more positive way. So for me as a blogger and where I live my life on social media, it has opened a lot of opportunities for me. Social media has helped me to connect with a lot of people. So let's not just see social media as devil. Let's not just see social media as people just misbehaving. I know a lot of people are misbehaving, especially some ladies now are just messing up on TikTok, fooling all the time. I keep asking myself that the people who are fooling on TikTok, when they are 40 years, are they still going to fool? When they are 50 years, are they going to fool? And
Okay, said Kobe.
the people that they are fooling to, the audience, you feel that you have the numbers, so you're fooling. Those audience will also grow to become 40. Do you think that they will entertain those bullshit? Sorry for my words. They,
Okay. Okay. So before we go, I have a poem for you, and it's called Hope for Tomorrow. Who is going to lull a crying child lost in a sea of tantrums? Who is going to help a lost soul swimming in sin? Who is going to give comfort to the longings of the heart full of pain? Will you be there when my body is asking to touch your skin? Will you be there when my mind is lost in a hopeful dream? Will my unwearable huntings be rewarded with a big catch? The future is uncertain, and tomorrow's dreams are insurmountable feats. Just be still and look up. Up there is your loving God, Kobby. He is guiding and waiting for you to bestow your tomorrow. This poem is by Minerva Agram, and I'm dedicating it to you for all the work that you do, for the lives that you're touching. May God Himself bless, keep, and protect you as you go on and you do your work. And you know where I am. Anytime, call and I'll be there. Ladies and
thank
gentlemen,
you.
I've just spoken with Kobby Kyei, a blogger, somebody who's after my own heart, and I'm right at his heels like a puppy, chopping his heels to make sure he doesn't stop. So, Kobby, God bless you. Stay blessed. It's
Thank
been
you.
it's been the Inspirational Anna Show. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's keep on keeping on. Stay blessed. Bye bye.